my channel. So for today I have a pretty exciting video planned. This is not a welcome to the kitchen I wish I had. No, this is a banana bread recipe. I got these super ripe bananas which are ready to be used in a delicious banana bread, and I thought let me actually record it. There's a couple of things that you can change. For example, I'll be using agave syrup, but you can use whatever sweetener you want. You might not even want to use sweetener because if you have very ripe bananas you don't really have to. I just like to add a little bit, but you can also add honey, normal sugar. There's coconut sugar that you can use as well. I'll be using eggs, so it won't be a vegan recipe. And also I'll be using some walnuts today. You can use whatever else you want. Maybe some coconut chips would be nice. Chocolate sprinkles or cacao powder to make it kind of like a chocolate banana bread. First of all, what we're gonna do is we're gonna mash up the bananas. Mashing up the bananas, you know that you have good ones when they're super easy to mash. So as you can see, it's super easy. They're so soft. You sometimes even have bananas when they're that ripe that they have little brown spots on them. To me personally, it doesn't really change the deal that much. Eating a banana that has those brown spots I don't really like so much, but I mean you're gonna mash it together anyway. In a banana bread, I don't really mind. I have my mashed up bananas. Now I'm gonna add them to the mixing bowl, and I'm gonna mix them together with the eggs. So all the wet ingredients I'm gonna mix first, and then I'm gonna throw in the dry ingredients. So the flour, baking soda, all of that. For the mixing part, you can use an electric mixer, but I actually like to do it by hand. I don't know why, but with a whisk, I don't know, I just like the mixing a lot better. So what we're gonna do is you're gonna get your mixing bowl out, and for this recipe I won't really be using much measurements. I'll just be using tablespoons and teaspoons, and they're either gonna be topped or heaped or whatever, or a handful. We're also gonna have a handful of walnuts. Started up by mashing up 3 bananas, and those we're right now gonna add to our mixing bowl. What we're then gonna add is 2 tablespoons of coconut oil. The next ingredient we're going to add is some vanilla essence, and for this I like to use about 1 little tablespoon worth. So then what we're going to do is we're going to add the eggs, and what I like to do is I like to have a banana to egg ratio, whereby for each banana you add 1 egg. I just feel that it comes out a lot fluffier when you do it that way. So I would use maybe 4 eggs then if you have small ones. These are quite medium sized, and then maybe when you have very large eggs I would do 1 egg less, or maybe half an egg less. For the lemon juice, I just like to use half a lemon, not all the juice, just a bit of it, and then I can use the rest to make myself a little hot lemon water while I'm cooking. So for this I just always think it's very handy to kind of use your hands. So put your fingers, sort of make a cup with your fingers, keep a little bit of space in between. That way when you squeeze out the lemon, the seeds stay in your hands and all the juice goes through. Okay, so now we're gonna start with the first round of mixing. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna grab your whisk and you're simply just gonna mix all of the ingredients together. And the reason why I like to mix in the wet ingredients first is because that way you can make sure that you beat the eggs properly so it becomes super fluffy. And I know that what some professionals do is that they take the eggs and they separate the egg white from the egg yolk, and then they whisk up the egg whites first, kind of like a meringue style, so it becomes super fluffy, and then they fold it in, so that way you can get a really fluffy cake. But I would say that's like kind of like expert level, and right now I'm just doing home cooking, so let's not make it too complicated. Let's keep it nice and easy. So now what we're gonna add is we're gonna add some salt, just a pinch of salt. So even in all of my sweet dishes, it's very good to use salt because it really brings out the flavor. So next thing we're gonna do, and this is optional, you can add the sugar. And this, like I said, is optional, so you can use it or you don't want to use it, or you can use honey, coconut sugar, normal brown sugar for example. You can do whatever you want. I just like to kind of use it to add a little bit more sweetness. So for this one what we're going to do is we're going to add 1 full tablespoon, and the secret to making sure that your honey or your syrup doesn't stick to your spoon is you're going to grease it in a little bit with some nice oil. You can use olive oil or coconut oil. I'm just going to top and bottom. So what we're going to do is a heaped tablespoon There we go. And as you can see, nothing is sticking to it. Now what we're gonna do, we're gonna add in the dry ingredients. So you're gonna take your flour. I have almond flour, you can use coconut flour. I will let you know based on the consistency if it's good or not. There we go, I'm just gonna add some nice, I think that'll be enough to start with. So at the beginning you don't mix it into a rough, because otherwise it's gonna go everywhere. So mine is still quite liquid, so we're gonna add in some more. Next thing that we're gonna add is the baking powder. So for the baking powder, I like to add about 2 heaped tablespoons of that. And then we're gonna mix that in, and the baking powder is gonna make sure that it rises nicely and become really nice and fluffy. Right now I have a handful of chopped walnuts, which we're nicely gonna add. And then we're gonna mix this up as well. So right now, as you can see, it's really nice consistency. It's nice and thick. Perfect consistency, this is what you're looking for. Get out a tray. I have this silicone mold, and then I put some baking paper in it. So you don't have to use any oils or anything. And now we're just gonna pour this one in. Nicely. And then away with the baking paper, like I said, you don't have to use any oils and it won't stick to anything. And I also kind of just like the sight of it. So now what I like to do is some walnuts that we have left. I like to just pop those in for decorational purposes. And then it's gonna go in the oven for about 45 minutes to an hour at around 180 degrees Celsius. Not quite certain how much it is in Fahrenheit. And there we go, your perfect, beautiful banana bread cake. So sadly enough, my camera battery ran out before I could even film the end. So I would hereby just like to thank you so much for watching and for your love and support I got on the last video. This is now my second video, and please don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell, and I will see you next week for my next video. Bye!